Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review. This time, I'm going to talk about the pre-orders for Factory Entertainment's Battlestar Galactica Wave 1 3 3/4 or 1/18 scale pre-order for Q4. Won't be going over the 1/6 figures. Those are upcoming, and I don't know much about those. I didn't pre-order those. I've heard somewhere at one of the conventions they had samples, and I thought, oh wow, I love Battlestar Galactica. We haven't really gotten good figures before, beyond those very first figures, which are now super vintage and really difficult to get and very expensive. I thought we haven't gotten figures in a while, and I signed up for their newsletter, and then when it went live, I went to Big Bad Toy Store, and oh my god, the figures were really nice looking. The prices were so bad, but I had to ask myself, like, can I afford this? And am I ever going to see this again? And is it risky not to support it? Because if I don't support it, I might not get any more Battlestar Galactica stuff. And that'd be a shame, because Battlestar Galactica stuff doesn't come out a whole lot. I mean, we got a few Funko Pops, but we didn't get many Funko Pops of the... I don't think the new series had hardly any, and the original series, I think, only had Apollo, Starbuck, and so far it's had maybe two or three, maybe two different Cylons. I gotta think that's all. They didn't even have like a Pop Rides with one of them sticking out a Viper or something. So I had to ask, like, am I going to see these again? Can I afford it? How excited am I about this? Because there's plenty of really good figures out there. Plenty of more inexpensive figures. Plenty of those kind. But I have to ask, is this the 83rd time I'm seeing these figures? How passionate am I about the line? Some of them are just, they're saturated. I'm like, well, if I wait for this line to go by, there'll be another line pretty soon. So let's jump into the figure offering for Wave 1. First, Factory Entertainment's having a little bit of fun with this poster. It's a vintage toy ad. I don't know if it's real or AI, but it shows the kids playing with the figures, which are a little big in their hands. It looks more like 6-inch figures for an adult, but to a kid, it must look kind of enormous. I'm sure it's beefed up a little bit. Let's collect all 5 figures. Each figure is 3.75 inches tall. Has the accessories, the removable pilot helmet, holster, blaster, and leg computer. And of course, for the Cylons, it has the sword, scabbard, rifle, and blaster, which is very cool. The Cylon Centurion silver. Like I said, I hit Big Bad Toy Store first, and I was able to get all of them. But for Wave 1, you're getting the Colonial Viper, you're getting Starbuck Apollo Boomer, Cylon Centurion, and a Cylon Command Centurion. But you're getting those in different pieces. So it's available on Factory Entertainment, Entertainment Earth, and Big Bad Toy Store. And I'll be going over all 3 of those offerings. And again, the Wave 1 is down below. But on Big Bad Toy Store, on Factory Entertainment site, they have a Troop Builder 3-pack that's a little bit cheaper than getting one figure at a time. If you look at the middle, the 150 is $30 each. So if you do that with the Troop Builder 3-pack, it should be $90. But it's $80, so you're saving some money there. The electronic vehicle is $220, which I'm trying to let go. Like, it's already $30 a slot for a single figure, but I have to keep in mind that they're a smaller toy company and they have to pay for a license. And it could be that we're not seeing a lot of Battlestar Galactica because that license is pricey. The electronic vehicle is super cool, but that's what they're offering on Factory Entertainment. Is they're offering the Troop Builder 3-pack, the figure assortment Wave 1 with all 5 of those figures, and the Colonial Viper Mark 1 electronic vehicle. Over on Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store, you can get the Battlestar Galactica Colonial Viper with Boomer. That's the only way it comes. It doesn't come by itself unless you go to the Factory Entertainment site. As far as the Battlestar Galactica figures, you're getting 4. Just 4. And you're getting Apollo, Starbuck, the Cylon Centurion, and the Command Centurion, the gold one. And of course, they're giving it to you in a figure case of 8. And that is great because if you are an in-box collector, you can knock that whole thing out and just get a case of 8. The single pack ones are being offered at $120, which is still $30 per character. The Battlestar Galactica Cylon Centurion Wave 1 figure is $30 each. So you get a little bit of a price break on the Factory Entertainment site. It'll be $80, but depending on which site you get things from, the shipping is going to be a little bit more. Entertainment Earth, it's free shipping for the first 3 offerings, but it's not free shipping for the single pack Cylon Centurion. So Entertainment Earth can charge, over somewhere over $10 for shipping. They're great. They're great at shipping, but you're still going to pay for shipping. But if you go to the Factory Entertainment site, there's a flat rate, and you're going to pay that for shipping. So depending on what your mix is, you might maybe you just want one Cylon Centurion. You can knock that out on Big Bad Toy Store and add that to your pile of loot, or pay $4 shipping for it. It's pretty cheap at Big Bad Toy Store. The pros and cons of ordering from the different sites is, for Factory Entertainment, you can't order individual Cylons. So if you want the Wave and you want a 3-pack, you get 4. If you want another 3, you get 7. You want another 3, you get 10, if that's what you want. There's also no way on any of the websites to order individual Apollos, individual Starbucks, individual Gold Centurions, or individual Boomers. So I know that Richard Hatch has passed, but the rest of them have not. So if you were hoping to get one to open and one to take to a convention and get it signed, you're out of luck. For Factory Entertainment, you can't order the individual Cylons. $13.47 is cheapest shipping for an individual item, and $15 flat rate shipping no matter how much you order. So that might be a way to go if you are looking at Entertainment Earth and you add the 3 individual Cylons and they cost more. Then maybe the $10 they give you off that 3-pack sort of offsets the $15, and shipping ends up costing $5. Of course, tax is tax. Can't avoid that anymore. Now, Cylon 3-packs, $10 cheaper than buying them individually. You order Wave 1 Viper and Cylon 3-pack, it's $100 up front for the pre-order to get you on the board. It's a non-refundable deposit. So if you decide to cancel your order, you're out $100. You can order individual Vipers without pilots. That's probably the most attractive thing about ordering directly from Factory Entertainment, is that you're not going to get 3 Vipers and 3 Boomers and then go, what the hell am I supposed to do with 3 Boomers? You can order individual Vipers. You can order 3 Vipers, and you can order the Wave 1 set, and you have a Viper for Boomer, you have a Viper for Apollo, and you have a Viper for Starbuck. Very cool. Entertainment Earth wants no upfront deposit. A case of Wave 1, set of Wave 1, and Colonial Viper are free shipping. And like I said, individual Cylons adds about $20 to shipping. I put that stuff in the cart, and I went, and I thought, oh no! No. Big Bad Toy Store, if you order Wave 1 Viper with Boomer and 3 individual Cylons, it's $37 up front, non-refundable deposit. It's not as bad as the $100 that Factory Entertainment gets, but it's not as good as the $0 Entertainment Earth charges. The Pile of Loot system holds items for 90 days to accumulate purchases, and shipping is $4, no matter how much stuff is shipped to you. So that's the way that you should do just about anything. And especially if you're going to get all of Wave 1 through Big Bad Toy Store, just hit the Pile of Loot. Make sure it doesn't come to you one at a time. Make sure it comes to you all at once. Tariffs sometimes added on without knowing how much it will be ahead of time. I'm not going to say burned. I love Big Bad Toy Store, but a couple times they went, oh, by the way, it's not $20 anymore. It's $23.99, and it hasn't been enough to make me cancel. It hasn't been enough to make me go, yeah, never mind. So what I ordered from Big Bad Toy Store was everything. I ordered, the first two were the 4-figure set and Boomer with the Viper. They were not offering individual Cylons at first. Big Bad Toy Store had all of the figures as sold out. All the individual figures as sold out. And then suddenly the Cylon came online at about the same time Factory Entertainment's 3-pack came online. I bought 3 Cylons before I knew that Factory Entertainment had one for $10 cheaper. It's super easy to cancel from Big Bad Toy Store, but I decided to hang on because $15 flat rate shipping isn't as good as $4 flat rate shipping, so I hung on. And the $10, even if you subtract the $10 from that, it's still $1 more for shipping. So I'm going to keep that. So let's talk about Wave 2 and beyond. And these are just, it's not speculation. It's not something that I know. This is just sort of a wish list. And of course, because we have a Colonial Viper, we need a Cylon Raider. And the deal, I don't know if all the Cylon Raiders were 3-seaters, but if they are, man, we are in trouble. Those are going to be $400 vehicles because they're going to be enormous. But I remember we did get really cool Cylon Raider with, like, you pull the little wings out and you would launch like a plastic pellet from like a little plastic missile from it. It was the coolest thing. I had the Cylon Raider. I didn't have the Viper for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I miss that toy. Even when Battlestar Galactica had a presence in the retro entertainment line for Hot Wheels, the Vipers and the Cylon Raiders were just impossible to get. And now in the aftermarket, they're so expensive. And Hot Wheels is one of these companies that they've been making kit from Knight Rider for like a decade. They've been making the 60s Batmobile for like a decade. They just, if they know something is popular and they have a license, they'll keep putting it out. But for whatever reason, they couldn't keep this license. And I'm guessing it was just too pricey to keep it. But if I'm hoping for a Wave 2, and honestly, Wave 1 is great. I'm getting some of my favorite characters, and the Cylons are absolutely, they were the stormtroopers of that universe, and they were ever present. They were cool. I liked them a lot. So let's go through some of the missing folks. And from left to right, we have Jolly, who was awesome. Boomer, we already have. Sheba. Sheba was, I think, Adama's daughter. Adama himself, Commander Adama, Athena. No, Athena was his daughter. Sheba is a pilot, and Athena's his daughter. Apollo, that's her brother. Cassiopeia is Starbuck's love interest. So I'd love to get Jolly, Sheba, Adama, Athena, and Cassiopeia into the next line. That would be very cool. And from left to right here, Serena, Boxy, and Muffet, and the wedding of Apollo and Serena, which of course has Apollo wearing different uniform, a sort of a dress uniform. Boxy and Muffet were big. Serena started out as a reporter, and then she became a pilot after that. And then she became Apollo's wife. But Serena is played by Jane Seymour, who went on to do like Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and just a ton of great stuff. She's a well-respected actress. The Muffet is like a robotic Daggett, and he was part of the first action figure line. Very cool. It would be cool to get him into this action figure line. Of course, Flight Corporal Rigel, who would tell them that they were clear for launch. Then there's Baltar on his throne, and I said in the thing Baltar and throne because that throne is synonymous. That thing spins around, and I think it was 6-7 feet off the floor because it towered over other Cylons. And Lucifer, who seems to be sort of in command of the Cylons, he seems to be sort of the intermediary between Baltar and Cylons. Like Baltar doesn't necessarily, he's sort of walking this sort of delicate line between being useful and being dead. But Baltar would be great, and so would Lucifer. It's just a cool design, and just it would look silly in a toy, I guess. But Flight Corporal Rigel, make it happen, make that hair happen. And we got Colonel Ty, of course, the second in command of the Battlestar Galactica, super important. Dr. Wilker and Dr. Salak, because doctors are important, and those two seem like, except for maybe the body type a little bit, all you'd have to do is the same kind of uniform and then just change their heads. And then Green Bean. Green Bean is Ed Begley Jr. And who doesn't want an Ed Begley Jr. figure? He probably doesn't. He's probably like, that's a waste of plastic and it's fouling our environment. No shade. He was, 20 years ahead of his time, and now we're all bitching about it. So, Green Bean. Now, these are just sort of examples of different uniforms or repaints. There's the one where Apollo gets onto that ship that makes everything white and is kind of heavenly. I don't know if it's an allegory for heaven or whatever, but it's an easy repaint. Then there's sort of the stealth suits they wear in one episode. That's on the left, it's Boomer and Sheba, Apollo and Starbuck. That'd be a cool uniform to have also. There's aliens and interesting humans. I think the aliens you only had in the movie because you had a big budget, and then when it gets to the TV series, they went with cheaper, interesting looking humans. Again, interesting humans. The guys on the left, those things around their neck were like these, they were the things that you twirl in the air and you throw at somebody and they tingle around your legs, but they make this screeching noise and light up. It was really cool. And then it's just it's a beautiful woman on a unicorn. We don't have one of those yet. Nobody's offering those. Get on it, Mythic Legions. And of course, there's a Frank Frazetta promo poster. I don't want any of those figures. I just thought it'd be cool to. This was an ad for ABC. I think it ran in TV Guide or something. But Battlestar Galactica, they had a lot of faith in. I think this was after the movie, so Frank should have known what they kind of looked like. But no shade, Frank Frazetta is everything he touches is costs $1 billion on the aftermarket. He's amazing, and it's amazing that he touched this property. It's very cool. But that is the Factory Entertainment Battlestar Galactica Wave 1. I don't have it in hand. Nobody does that I know of. As I'm saying that, I'm super jealous. I'm like, they probably sent it to somebody to get an early look. Or they will, and that'll be cool. Hey, send it to me, guys. Anyway, that's fine. The Viper itself has electronic features, so it has like a little remote where you can change the thrust different colors, and I'm sure it makes noises. I wasn't really sure, but it looks amazing. Everything in this line looks really amazing, and And though I don't collect in the 1/18 scale anymore, I can't not get it. Just can't. I can't have a Cylon not stand next to a Stormtrooper. I can't. Keep from hiding one Cylon in a long line of Stormtroopers in formation. I can't. And I can always put a Cylon in between a Stormtrooper and a ROM figure, and I can be like, oh, this is the before and after. This is the evolution of ROM. He was, this, and then he turned bulky silver, and now he's sleek silver. Oh, and then I'll add a Silver Surfer at the end to make it extra confusing. Yeah, that sounds awesome. But I loved Battlestar Galactica. I think it came on at 10 o'clock at night when I was a kid, so I wasn't allowed to watch it, but I did get away with watching a couple episodes. And when I was a kid, they let me stay up and watch, and I was super grateful. But I missed a lot of episodes, and then years later, I think it showed up on the Sci-Fi Channel. I got to watch the whole thing, and I was delighted. I can't tell you, how important it is. It wasn't as important as Star Wars because I could watch Star Wars, but I couldn't really watch Battlestar Galactica. But I liked everything that I saw. I was a kid, but it left a huge mark on me. So if it made a huge mark on you, you should consider at least getting the figures. You can dump out on the Viper and just go, well, I maybe later if they do a Mark II Viper or something, I'll pick that up. But until then, I'm just going to get the figures and reserve the right to hate everything else. Hopefully, individual figures of Apollo, Starbuck, and Boomer will be available so you can get your favorites or mix and match. Maybe you only want Boomer and Apollo because you met them at a convention one time, or all you want is Starbuck because he's your very favorite, or all you want is Apollo and one Cylon so you can live out that One Eye episode and have a showdown with that Cylon and blow him apart. It's up to you, however you want to collect them. So that's it for me. I'm getting the whole first wave. I am excited about it. I am all in. Factory Entertainment is a known quantity. And while they might not have done this before, I have no doubt that they'll be awesome when they show up. So until next time, enjoy your toys.